Yeah, hi everyone. Good morning and good evening. So now I am going to create another master data. So in a previous video, I created the resource and resource type. And now I am going to create another master data as the work center. So before creating it, let's understand what is the work center in SAP ME. So work center is nothing but a group of resources or other areas, okay, or other work centers. So work center can be a group of resources or it can be a group of work centers or it can be the combination of both. Okay. So work center can have one or more work center and resources in hierarchy. So you can create your hierarchy as well, like a production line. So in one production line, suppose you have a multiple work centers and there is a multiple resources. So you can create your hierarchy and that hierarchy will be used for your reporting purpose. Or work center can also be used to release your production order on a particular work center. The only one limitation is here. Suppose you are assigning a multiple resources to the work center. So once one resource has been assigned to one work center, the same cannot be assigned to any other work center. Like same resource cannot be assigned in several different work center. You can, like in a material group, we saw that one material can be assigned to the multiple material groups, right? ME will not prevent. But here, same resource, you cannot assign to multiple work center. ME will prevent here. It will not allow you to assign same resources in a multiple work centers. So work center creation in SAP ME, that is not a mandatory master data. It is the optional for your reporting purpose, creating a hierarchy for a production line in a complex production line scenario, or it can be used in a like a releasing a production order on the work center if you need. So SAP ME provides activity that is known as work center maintenance. And this work center maintenance activity provides you ability to create, update, or delete the work center in SAP ME system. So here the exercise 3 that will be for creating the work center in ME. So what I'm doing here for our scenario, I'm creating a production line 1 and there is a rework line 1. So I'm creating a work center of type production line. So this is the production line. I will be considering that work center. So one work center will have multiple resources, multiple operations being performed inside that work center, and complete work center will be our production line. So I am going to create a WC01 work center of production line of type production line. And in that work center, I am going to assign these 1 to 4 resources. And I'm going to create another production line that is known as your rework line. And inside that, I'm going to assign only one resource that is RES05 for your rework bench. So let me move to the system and go to the work center maintenance. So here Control F, work center maintenance. So here in the work center maintenance, double click on this activity. You will get this screen work center maintenance. So first you need to provide here the work center name. So we have the work center name WC01. So let me put here the work center name as the WC01. And this is my description for this work center. And the work center description is a production line 1. So here I'm not going to use the routing. I'm not going to release any production order there on this particular work center. So here you can see there are different categories, right? So here I am going to use as a line. The meaning is that I am going to use this work center as a production line. Okay. And inside this work center, I'm going to assign a multiple resources that will be the part of this work center. So now what I'm doing here, I'm going to click here insert new, and by clicking on insert new, you can assign any number of work centers inside a work center or any number of resources inside a work center. So click on this insert new. You can see there is a one line created here, and here you can select your resources. So here I have to assign 4 resources to this WC01 work center. So I'm clicking 4 times on this insert new. So 4 rows will be created. So here it is asking, inside this WC01, are you going to assign the resource or work center? So by default, it is the work center, but I'm not going to assign the work center inside a work center, but you can do as well for your complex scenarios, your complex hierarchy creation. But I am going to assign the resources inside this WC01 production line. So here for all, I am selecting the resources. I'm going to assign the resource inside this work center. So what all resources I am going to assign? So I am going to assign all these resources, RES01, RES02. So you can write here RES01, RES02, RES03, RES04. So these all resources, if you want that to see if this resource exists in ME or not, click on this browse and you will see that resources is available. So now I have assigned all these required resources according to our scenario inside the WC01, and now I'm going to save it. Okay, and here in the user tab, you can provide the access who all can work on this work center. Okay, so here if you will search it, all the user you will get it. So this is the user by using that I have logged in. Let me assign to access this work center. So I will be allowed to access this work center. Okay, so this is the work center creation. So first work center I have created. I'm going to create the second work center for the rework line. So for that rework line, I'm going to give here, okay, this, let me clear all and, okay. So now I'm going to create for the rework line another work center. Okay, here giving the description. So this is the rework line 1. And here also I'm going to select as a line. You can select any one here, like a cell group, building. So there are different categories are there that you can use, and that's mainly used for your reporting purpose. Here inside this rework line, I'm going to insert only one resource, that is RES05. So just write here the RES05. Before that, select that resource, and then here the RES05, and then save it. So resource, the work center has been saved, and this work center has been assigned that RES05. In the user tab also, I'm going to provide the access to my user to this particular work center. So this is all actually we need to do into the exercise 3. The work center creation and assigning the resources inside the work center. Now I'm going to the next, and here operations. So this is also a master data in SAP ME that you need to create, because whenever you will create a routing, the operation is needed. So what is the operation? Before creating it in SAP ME, let's understand what is the operation in SAP ME. So an operation is a basic step in manufacturing process and building block for the routing. So this is the building block for a routing. Without operation, you cannot create a routing, because routing is nothing but a combination of operations, sequencing your operations in a line. And each operations that created in SAP ME can be started and completed by the operator by using the machine, okay, by using the machine on the floor. So each operator can be, if operation can be started and completed on a particular machine or resources. So operation start needs the resource as well. So in that case, you need to maintain the resource type in operations. So whenever you will creating operation in SAP ME, the resource type is the mandatory field to create it. So that's the reason we have already created the resource types, and then we came for the operation. So now you can see this is the exercise number 4, and in exercise number 4 you can see we have to create the operation and attach resource type and resources to it. So this is our 4th exercise, where we will create a multiple operations and assigning a corresponding resource type to it. So we have created already this resource type, only we need to assign in this operation. So resource type 03. Okay. So now I'm going to create the operation 10 according to our scenario. So how we will create the operation? You have to go to the operation maintenance in SAP ME. So clicking on this operation maintenance, you can create your operation. So I'm going to create the operation 10 and providing the description that cylinder block check and assembly. Okay. So now I am keeping everything same. Here I am defining that where this operation will be performed. So operation number 10, that is actually we are going to perform cylinder block check. We are checking the cylinder block and we are doing the assembly at the operation number 10. So what resources you are going to use for it? So for that you have to define the resource types, and whatever the resources you have maintained in the resource type, that only resources will be applicable for this operation number 10. So that's the reason we are defining here the resource type, and by in that resource type, whatever the resources you have maintained will be applicable to start this operation 10. So here I'm going to assign this resource type 01 for the operation number 10. Okay. So if I will click here to browse, I will find that RES type 01 we have already created. So in RES type 01, there is only one resource, RES 01. Okay. So RES 01 only will be used to start this operation number 10. If resource type has a multiple resources, so that all resources can be used to start this operation 10. But in our case, only one RES01 is assigned to the resource type, so only one will be used. And here you can provide the default resource as well. So in our case, there is only one resource, right, inside that RES type 01. If there is a multiple resources assigned to the resource type, you can make one of them is a default. In our case, only one. So let me select that. This is my default as well. Resource. That is not a mandatory field, but actually I'm just keeping here. The work center. So I'm for the work center is only two work center we have, right? One is for the rework and another is for a production one. So I'm selecting the production line for this here as a work center. Save it. So this is okay. So this is the version controlled, and you have to provide any version here. So I'm providing a version. Okay. So this is the operation 10 has been created. Like that, I'm going to create the operation 20 as well. So for the operation 20, what I need to do, the 20 operation, and I'm giving a description here for this operation. And here actually I'm going to give the resource type 2. So just 2, and here also I'm going to change the 2 because the 2 is assigned to this resource type. Here only you can give the resources that is assigned to this resource type, otherwise it will give you the error. So this also got created, and now I'm going to create the operation 30. So operation 30, and here I'm copying this description and putting here in a description field. And here I'm going to give it 3. Here also I'm going to give it 3 and save it. So 3 has been created. Now I'm going to create the operation 40 and copying that description, again giving into the description field. And this is for the 4, and here I am also assigning 4, here also 4, and save it. And now I'm going to create the rework operation here. So the same way I have to create the rework operation as well. Here I'm going to give the description. Any description you can provide here. And for the rework, it is the resource 5. So I'm giving the resource 5, and here also I'm giving 5, and then save it. And here the work center actually I'm going to change for the rework work center. Okay, so this is the for the production one. Let me what is for the rework one. So for the rework one, RWC01, I'm selecting that and I'm saving it. So up to here we created the operations and assigned the resource type and work center to the operation. So resource type, assigning a resource type is the mandatory, assigning a work center is not mandatory. Even you can assign the certification, sub steps, and hook points that will come later. Okay. Now, so in the next video, I will explain what is the bill of material and how you can create a bill of material in SAP ME. So thank you very much.